Hello and welcome to the show. We are back at Blizzard Mountain, going to be building another hill climb. Monster is not going to be this Ford Woody. No, we are going to the gods of Forza for our car choice, as we're going to be using the game's Wheelspins. It's been a while since I've done one of these, and I fancied having another go at getting some random car and hopefully trying to make it into something half decent. Wheelspins have gone up in money, but never mind. We're going to buy some wheelspins up until the point that, yeah, we get given a car. Oh, I've actually made money on this first wheelspin. It's not going to last. I have the worst luck when it comes to a wheelspin. Apparently, I could win a Holden Tirana. I'd be very happy with a Holden Tirana. I'm not going to. But, oh, almost a Volvo 123. I'm still making money. What's going on? Yeah, the rules for this, the car, you know, if it's a supercar that doesn't fit within the PI, oh, okay, we've been given a car. Mercedes C63 AMG Black is the vehicle of choice. I really hope that that will fit within the PI. I think an Escort Cosworth was one position away from being the one vehicle. Yeah, of course, yeah, rules for this: if the Mercedes will not get within the PI with the required parts, i.e. all-wheel drive and snow tyres, we will have to go and pick another car. I think it might be close. I don't know. It'll all depend on how much handling there is in the Mercedes. I know it's notoriously not great, but okay, no, it's only A-class. It's a very, very tippy-top of A-class. However, it is only A-class, so it might just about be able to sneak in. I mean, it does start off relatively on the heavy side. We'll give it a go. Could be a potentially quite fast car up this mountain. After all, the Jaguar F-Type was very good indeed, despite having, I think, even less PI to play around with than this. Downsides, though, could be like the Porsche Panamera. That wasn't a good car, despite having not much PI to play around with. It didn't really work in the Porsche. Okay, so we're going to have about 50 PI for the rest of the parts. That means we should be able to get it half decent in terms of lightness. Only 265s at the front, I'm surprised. Relatively small. 325s at the rear, though, are nice indeed. We will be going, of course, for some aero parts. We need all the downforce that we can get. We have... okay, alright, so you can have either the downforce creating wing, or you can remove wing altogether. There's a tiny lip spoiler from standard. We will have a downforce creating wing. Be very, very important. We will also have some nice brakes on the car. Unfortunately, yeah, this will suck up a fair bit of PI. We will also then go for anti-roll bars and a roll cage in here. Weight reduction, I think we're going to have to do. Oh, yeah, this is the horrible issue. So we go full rate reduction. We will get it down to 3,300 pounds. On the heavier side, but not too terrible. Better power to weight ratio than we got out of the Porsche, but we will be out of PI. There's no kind of a nice middle ground between those two. It's either heavy, with not much PI to play with, or light with even lighter, with even less. I guess we're going to have to go for lightness, really. I don't see there being much other choice in this one. Engine, I don't have thought. Engine, oh, you can get power out of the standard engine. I'm just curious what other engines. Okay, we can get the V12, we can get the V10 in it as well. I wondered if anything might have like a less powerful engine as an option that would be lighter, out of curiosity. Not that I would be changing it, but you can't do that anyway, so that's irrelevant. Exhaust, I will tend to always go for exhaust first, but we have very limited PI to play with, as it adds power and saves a fair bit of weight, as does the intake manifold. Yeah, it's not going to be the most powerful, nor the lightest. Power to weight ratio isn't going to be great in this car, but it is more akin to the F-Type than the Porsche, which is a positive. Indeed. Now, what we can do, hopefully, is chuck on all of these parts here. Oh, that actually costs us any PI at all. Then we might be able to sneak a flywheel on, potentially. Or can we get some power? Okay, we can go for that. It will, of course, add some weight on, but it has added some power and some torque. Can we be sneaky? Oh, no, we can't. Yeah, I think I'll go with that as the option there. Okay, so as far as our wheelspin vehicle goes, the Mercedes is looking just about ready to tackle our mountain hill climb. So, our Mercedes has been brought to the Devil's Corners hill climb, where it is going to get 3 attempts to go as fast as possible. I think unlikely to challenge the BMW 507, our current leader. What is going to be more interesting for this car? Trying to beat that Jaguar F-Type that did put in a very good show. It currently sits in 15th place on our leaderboard, 158.0, or the Porsche Panamera at 158.9. I think, yeah, if we can get a low 58, that would be good going with the Mercedes. Now, this car is notoriously quite crazy from standard. However, in this series, we have had plenty of very high-powered cars with, you know, much more impressive power-to-weight ratios than this one. So I don't expect this to be particularly difficult to drive up this course. What I do think the problem is going to be, much like we saw with the Panamera, simply not having the power, not having the acceleration to get it out of these corners well enough. We are a little bit lighter than the Porsche, but I think we have a little bit less power. So, yeah, I don't know. How much speed we can carry through the corners is also going to be vitally important. It is very weird to be saying a C63 AMG Black Series is not got the power. I know that is a very, very weird thing to be saying, but in this series we have had, well, plenty of absolutely monstrous cars, and this thing just, well, doesn't simply have the power-to-weight ratio of a lot of them. It's 113 miles an hour down that back straight. It isn't great. We're going to be sub 100 miles an hour across that jump as well. We are going to have to make up time through the corners if we are going to stand any chance of getting a decent stage time in this car. We want to make up actually quite a lot of time through the corners, I would imagine. Now, we do feel quite nice to drive. It doesn't feel as heavy as the Panamera did. It doesn't feel as sluggish as the Porsche in many respects. Now, whether it's actually going to translate into speed, into sort of stage speed, I don't know. The Porsche definitely didn't feel as nice to drive as this car, but we are still struggling for speed here. Go on, get off the icy straight very, very nicely indeed. There's no get-go at all, especially going from the Holden Ute that had 1,000 horsepower and was 1,000 pounds lighter, in fact, like 1,100 pounds lighter than this. That had a lot of acceleration. This does not, and for an opening run, it was in the 2 minutes, which is not great. 2:07. I'm sure we can find some time with a little bit better driving from me. However, yeah, going quicker than that F-Type might be once more asking a bit too much. So, it is on to our second run with the Mercedes. Where am I going to find time with this car? That is the question. I did run very, very deep into this first corner, so we can be a little bit neater around here. It's 112 miles an hour. In fact, that's a little bit too much hugging on the inside. 112 miles an hour through there. Oh, God, we do not have... You see, I'm trying to now carry more corner speed. I know that's where I'm going to have to make up time. And there is no way I can make up time because I don't have the power. I can't, use the acceleration of the car to make up time. It's all going to come through the corners. So I've got to try and push the car that little bit harder, but then not overdrive the car. I said before, it's a very easy mistake to make when you're trying to find a couple of seconds on a course like this. You end up throwing the car into the corners too fast. You end up making silly mistakes, and that is what will then also cost you time. I've run in a little bit too deep through there. We've got away without losing too much time on that one, but it's just not quite perfect. And really, if we're going to get into the 58, we're going to have to be pretty damn perfect with this car. There is very little in the way of room for mistakes here. See, things like the Holden Ute, you can get away with, having a little moment here and there because you've just got the power out the other side of the corner. Ute might be a little bit of a bad example simply because it's so difficult to drive that car fast, but certainly a lot of the more powerful vehicles, the vehicles towards the top of the table, have got the power to get away with you being a tiny fraction bit out of position. Whereas this car is all about the momentum because I don't have the power to accelerate it away from the corner in the same manner. I think we are better this lap around despite a little moment at turn 2. Oh, I think we clipped the ice on the way in there. That's going to cost it. Okay, we were going better up until that. I was trying to get the car turned in nice and early for that corner, and in doing so just ran a wheel across the ice. We didn't get turned, and that was that. Second run, not so great for the Mercedes. We are going to go a fraction faster. It was, I think it was a 2:02-ish. 2:03, there we go. We were definitely going, we can definitely go sub 2 minute with this, I think it's actually going to end up quite close to that Panamera 58.9. Yeah, we're a fair bit off that F-Type. So, it is on to the final run with our Mercedes, and we need to find some time. We need to keep the car out of the wall. That's fairly solid advice in general for any sort of racing, but we do really need to keep the Mercedes out of the wall, whether that be at turn 1 or whether that be leaving the icy straight. And we need to know not gallivanting off towards the wall at turn 2, which we have, well, a little bit on the exit, but that's just because I was on power. So, that was always going to happen across there. I did bounce across the inside snowbank a little bit, but got away with it relatively well. There's a faintest bit of oversteer there. It's the first time we've had this car oversteering on the run up the course. If anything, this is actually quite understeering. In general, we're seeing just about everything is having understeer issues because, well, you know, we're driving very quickly on snow. But this in particular is struggling with understeer more than I was expecting a car like this to. If anything, I think it's a testament to just how good that F-Type was, having such little PI to work with and going as fast as it did. Nothing else has even got sort of remotely close to, I say remotely close, this is, you know, might be able to go within a second of the F-Type, but second's still quite a lot on this course and in this series. So yeah, I think it's a testament to the Jaguar. I do actually like the way this Mercedes drives. It's one of those slightly infuriating cars, a little bit like the XJ220. Lovely car to drive, just not quick. It's just not fast up here. We haven't got the power to weight ratio, and I can't make up time through the corners because we don't simply have the grip available to us. Are we going to get turned in? Just, we were a little bit wide. Definitely going better this time around. Now, let's not get caught out by the ice on the inside. We do manage to miss that one. Actually, very quick off of the icy straight. That's good. That's good indeed from the Mercedes. We are definitely on a better run into the penultimate corner. This is where we do struggle again. It's just that weight holding it back. We don't have the brutal power. Oh, it's better. Much better indeed on that final run. A 1:58 point. We have another tie. What is going on with this now? We do indeed have another tie on our leaderboard. The 58.418 will put our Mercedes into a joint 16th place. It got to within 0.4 of a second of that Jaguar. Found a little bit more time than perhaps I was expecting on that final run. It is exactly the same time as the BMW 2002 Turbo. Now, the BMW had a lot of power, an awful lot of power. In fact, not a huge amount of weight. I think it might have actually led the series at the point that it was run through the course as well. Yeah, the BMW, that's not a bad time to have equalled 2002 Turbo. It beats the Nissan 240 SX, the 69 Charger, Toyota A86, as though loses out to the Jaguar and the Land Rover Series 3, the Porsche 718, and the HD TVK Commodore. That's, yeah, not too shabby a time from the Mercedes. Very, very little in the way of PI to work with here. Not a particularly great power-to-weight ratio. A little bit better than the likes of the Panamera, and drives a lot nicer. It does drive very, very well indeed, this car. I like driving it. There is a fair bit of understeer going on from it in a couple of the faster corners. That doesn't help matters. It would be nice to get turned in that little bit better, but yeah, on the whole, to be able to go to the sort of the mid-58s is not too bad when you really do not have very much PI to work with whatsoever. And there is, of course, the glorious AMG noise associated with this vehicle. So overall, I think a surprisingly good performance from the C63. That, though, is going to be it from me. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.